looking at our... What is that?
That's the Channel 7 Mega Doppler 7000 HD forecast.
John Fugelsang, thank God, is here to comfort us in our time of need. There is moisture here in Los Angeles. It's very, very upsetting. We're very traumatized. I'm doing my hour by hour on my iPhone weather app, John, to see if there will be a break in the rain. So much tragedy, so little time.
I'm glad you have the Mega Doppler deployed. That's terrific.
No,
I know they've been waiting for years to deploy the Mega Doppler in L.A.
Yes.
Waiting for an incident of weather.
It's the Mega Doppler 7000 HD forecast. I'll have you know.
No peeing on the altar, sorry.
Looks like there may be a break, John, just to update everybody right after the show, which is very key because that's when I drive to spinning, and then I won't have to say as much, go! Would you just go? It's just moisture. See, because I'm from Buffalo, so I'm used to driving with the snow sofa on my car on black ice. So
I think
it's
it's illegal to drive with a big snow thing on top of your car.
The statute of limitations is up, my friend.
If you guys have it rough, I gotta say, it's one long Bataan death march, your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yep, I understand.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of statute of limitations, did you see yet another Bill Cosby accuser, this time supermodel Beverly Johnson?
Beverly Johnson.
Did you read this account?
This is the biggest one yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I did. I know. Now you got to dope yourself to watch Cosby Show. It's very sad.
Oh, dear. Yeah, she wrote...
First story was the most chilling because she didn't accuse him of rape.
No. Yeah. Of drugging her.
Yeah.
And, you know, she's a girl after my own heart because she employed the mother, or defense. She just kept screaming that at him, and then I guess he let her go.
Yeah.
Because he was so, sort of startled that she was fighting back. She was saying that, and she was saying, obviously I was a top model. I've been around a lot of drugs. She said she knew after 2 sips that she had been, what did she say here? She said, by the second sip of the drink Cosby had given me that I'd been drugged and drugged good. Johnson managed to escape by calling Cosby a mother.
Yep.
Multiple times, angering him, and then he, I guess, threw her in a cab.
He put her in
whatever.
a taxi.
Yeah. But anyway, she wrote for Vanity Fair. Vogue's first black cover girl, Beverly Johnson, said he drugged her at his home when she was auditioning for a small part on The Cosby Show in the mid-1980s. When you were making some joke about rectal feeding, I was going to say it's, or we call it a Cosby audition here in America. However, John, she says she was hesitant to tell her story before because black men have enough enemies out there already, and certainly don't need someone like me, an African American with a familiar name and a famous face, fanning the flames. Interesting. And then, yeah, she finally came forward. She said she was inspired to finally speak up by the other women who've told their Cosby stories, including her longtime friend and fellow model, Janice Dickinson. Many are still afraid to speak up. She said, I couldn't sit back and watch the other women be vilified and shamed for something I knew was true.
Well, good. Clearly she's just doing this for money. Obviously, she has an agenda here, and clearly this is just a case of piling on a successful black man for no reason. Look, it's terrible. It's so sad. There's no good thing about this. It's like people won't let their kids watch Fat Albert now. It's so awful. If anything, the racial element of it shows that it's not about race. It's a male thing, and it shows that we really are very much alike despite our skin color differences, because testosterone rots the brain no matter what color you are.
I feel bad for
across the globe.
I feel bad for the ancillary players on the Cosby Show and Fat Albert and stuff like, because they're not getting residuals now because these shows have been pulled off the air.
But it also tells
the truth actually is, Chris, you should have felt bad for them a long time ago, because from everything I've heard, Cosby screwed them out of decent residual deals and just paid them a lot up front, and so they weren't making a lot of money off those reruns anyway.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
But it also goes to
Stephen Collins, though. Same thing with Stephen Collins in Seventh Heaven, because of him interfering with these children.
Yeah.
And it also goes to how terrified these women, John, they were in show business, that were terrified that A, people wouldn't believe them, it was Bill Cosby, and B, that they'd never work again. She was in the middle, I guess, of a bad divorce, Beverly Johnson, and, afraid she'd never work again. She said, and it was interesting how many of these stories, like Cosby asked her to pretend she was drunk, and she said, first of all, she was auditioning to play a pregnant woman. She goes, since when did a pregnant woman ever appear drunk on the Cosby Show? Because remember, he played an obstetrician, and so, he would sometimes hire models to be in the waiting room, pretending they're people waiting to come see him. But yeah, I mean, just incredible, but just how terrified she was that it was Bill Cosby, and, didn't feel like she could decline the drink or whatever. But, yeah, speaking of racial stuff, you know what it takes me back to, John, is one of our favorite holiday specials when Megyn Kelly said last year that Santa is white.
Santa is white. Santa is white. Jesus was a white man, too.
You can't take facts and then try to change them to fit some sort of a political agenda.
Santa is white. Santa is white. Jesus was a white man, too. How do you change Santa from white to black? Jesus was a white man, too.
Aw, the oldies, the classics, John, the classics.
Well, Jesus, of course, was white because we all know that men who lived in Palestine 2,000 years ago resembled Bon Jovi. But Megan's wrong about Santa. Santa's not white, and Santa's not black. Santa's Chinese.
Yes.
You know this because that's where all the gifts come from.
That's
there
right.
you go. There you go. Oh, the classics. We've already played Frothy this morning because, as you know, Rick Santorum announced for president, and nobody noticed. Huh?
Oh, wow. That's fantastic. So Santorum shoots to the top.
Yes. Not yet. The first Santorum surge of the season, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody,
Wow.
Everybody.
Who's running before anyone pulls out.
That's right.
All right. Thank you, John. We continue more Fridays with Bugles Thing on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hello, Free Speech TV land. You can see these smiles, these saucy smiles. It's fun drive time. Oh, look at Jim Ward's saucy smile. Okay, that's weird. Oh, that's just...
Yeah, no,
okay.
that's
okay,
all.
Stop
Yeah,
it.
no,
okay,
stop
that's
it.
weird. Okay. If you give now, Jim Ward will stop doing that face.
Please.
I think that's the best premium we've ever offered. Yeah, it is your network. If you've watched Free Speech TV, you know it's different, and not weird different like that face. Good different.
Yeah.
Stephanie Miller Show, Tom Hartman, Amy Goodman, right? The Bill Press Show.
Unencumbered by corporations of any kind.
Yes, we don't take corporate money of any kind. That's why we need your help. And it's the end of the year. What do you need most? Why, thanks for asking. You need a tax-deductible donation, and here's what you get. For $60, check it out. We will send the actual Koch brothers actual coal on your behalf. It's a great way to not only support Free Speech TV, but send a strong message to the two individuals on everybody's naughty list this year. And you also get the Free Speech TV Stephanie Miller Show Drink, Cry, Quit water bottle. Wildly popular.
Yes, that's it. That is in demand.
Because it's what I would do if I were president. I would
drink, then cry, then quit.
That's right. For a $120 donation, you get the Stephanie Miller Show wine set, which is also wildly popular.
Yes.
$240 tax-deductible donation, you get the Stephanie Miller Show fleece jacket, and I'm a Stephanie Miller Show whore bag.
I love the fleece jacket.
Okay, $360, you get the wine set, the whore bag, and a new scarf, which is it's a Stephanie Miller Show scarf. It's extra long and has pockets to keep your fingers toasty.
So you can wrap it around your head like Randy in A Christmas Story.
There you go.
And look like a tick about to pop.
There you go.
That's the line from the movie.
For $1,000, you can get lunch with Mama and the Mooks. How much fun is that? $1,000 tax-deductible donation. We've had, and those are par and then tays.
Yes. They've been known to be a little raucous, especially when you eat the oysters.
Okay, if you would like to keep us in about 40 million homes, go now to freespeech.org, or you can call 1-877-378-8669 to make a donation and stand with your network, Free Speech TV. As Arnold Schwarzenegger would say, do it now.
Do it now. Do it. And these kinds of things and things of this nature.
Right.
And all of this.
And all of these things, which all involve giving money to Free Speech TV at freespeech.org now. Do it now. We love you, Free Speech TV. Really? Oh, no, they're just buckets of water because we're on a well system here.
Yeah, as you do.
Contrary to the CIA's description, the Senate report says waterboarding was physically harmful, leading to convulsions and vomiting. And as we often said, if it's so effective, why was, what's his name, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed waterboarded at least 183 times in what they described as a series of near drownings? In November 2002, a detainee who had been partially nude and chained to a floor died, apparently from hypothermia. The case appears similar to another detainee who died of similar explained causes at an Afghan site known as the Salt Pit. The CIA also forced some detainees who had broken feet or legs to stand in stress-inducing conditions. The torture continued nearly nonstop for days or weeks at a time. At least 5 detainees were subjected to rectal feeding or rectal hydration without any documented medical need. While IV infusion is safe and effective, one officer wrote, rectal hydration could be used as a form of behavior control. Others were deprived of sleep, blah, 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 sometimes standing, sometimes with their hands shackled above their heads. Some detainees were forced to walk around naked or shackled with their hands above their heads. In other instances, naked detainees were hooded and dragged up down corridors while subjected to physical abuse. We've seen those pictures. I mean, all kinds of violating someone with a broomstick rectally. CIA officers threatened to harm detainees' children, sexually abuse their mothers, cut a detainee's mother's throat. Officers in the CIA detention and interrogation program included individuals who the committee said
Stephanie Miller.
I'm the official sentry of the Island of Misfit Toys.
Yeah. It is the Stephanie Miller Show. All right, the update, the ants have arrived.
Yep.
It is raining in 3 separate rooms in my house. At last.
Yeah.
And the ants are here.
And the rain is driving the ants inside.
Yep. Okie dokie. Good morning, John Fugelsang. And yet.
It's rain. How will your weak immune systems handle weather?
I know.
You LA people.
I know. Okay. John Fugelsang, we were talking about racial issues as regards, White Santa last year, the Megyn Kelly classic.
Yep.
And, all right. All this, obviously the unrest we've been talking about in Ferguson and New York and around the country, even out here in Hollywood, among liberals, you saw these Sony emails, right?
Yes.
Scott Rudin, is that how you pronounce it? And Amy Pascal apologized after racially insensitive Sony emails about Obama leak. It is incredible. Just when you think, we've made racial progress, you're like, really? These are like Hollywood Democrats that are making racial jokes about President Obama.
I mean, yeah, but they weren't. They were just implying that Obama saw a lot of black-themed films. That's all they were doing. It wasn't hate. It wasn't hate-driven towards Obama. It was just bad racial humor that he had probably seen Best Man Wedding,
Right, 12 Years a Slave, Django Unchained, The Butler, right.
Yeah, most of those were good films. So,
yes.
I'm sure Obama did see most of those movies. So that was hardly the most inflammatory thing in those emails. The real story, there's 2 stories in those emails. One is just how much Scott Rudin hates Angelina Jolie and how he was right that her Cleopatra would be a disaster if he was allowed to do it. But the real story is, there's no privacy anywhere anymore. Deleted emails aren't private anymore. And whoever did this, it may have been an inside job, but, they wiped out everything also. Everyone at Sony, all of their email contacts are gone. Their address books are empty.
Yeah.
Unreleased films were leaked onto the web. This is going to happen on bigger scales. And if it happen to a Hollywood studio, when's it going to happen to a big business or a...
Did I hear yesterday they all got some kind of weird warning on their computer screens? It's just creepy, right?
Yeah.
It's really creepy that anyone could take the remake of Annie and make it available all over the country. That's
the worst part of it. But
I'm organizing a seance to contact John Huston so film critics can apologize for their reviews of his original Annie. Because wow, the new.
And
Annie,
somewhere Adam Sandler is weeping in the fetal position. Because, that was the one thing we learned is they really, really hate Adam Sandler movies at Sony, right?
Well, most people who care about films hate Adam Sandler.
Yeah, that's true.
I agree.
But if they were able to do this to, a major studio like this, what's to say they couldn't do it to the U.S. government, with all of our Social Security numbers and, private information that the government has on us?
Right. And even if it was an inside job, then what's to say that, that it couldn't be an inside job, for the Pentagon? Or for Chase Bank, for your credit card info.
Right.
Of course, this could happen any time, and privacy's over. The only privacy left in the world is for a Malaysian aircraft somewhere.
Yeah.
Mike in Philly, you're on with John. Hello, Mike.
Hi, how you doing this morning?
Good. Go ahead.
I'd just like to talk about the Democrats. They just seem to be Republican light anymore, and they're just ready to fold under pressure. To tell you the truth, I'd like to see Bernie and Elizabeth start their own party. You may have to go through a cycle or two where your vote doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter anyway with these Democrats, the way they're throwing the middle class under the bus.
Yeah, John, obviously. What's that?
He speaks for many.
That's right.
Yeah, problem is, obviously, a third party has never... posed it. I guess what I keep looking at is that, when we had, who was it? I can't remember. I'm blanking out. But, what ended up giving us George Bush, I would like to see, John, more fighting Democrats like, Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. Because I feel like you said, you said earlier, the Democrats are better on all these issues. And to me, the lesson of the midterms was running away from Obama's record, which is really good,
Exactly. Well, the good news is that Hillary Clinton has come out boldly for the